2023 Vancouver Sun Run. It is on April 16th, and let's dig into some of the content here. First of all, some facts here. So, when are you going to get your bib and things like that? That is going to happen on April 11th and 13th, coming in the mail. So, if you do not get it, make sure you reach out to them. How do you get to the start? They suggest the SkyTrain or any other form of public transportation. I think that roads are going to close. Yep, right down here at 5:30 a.m. That's when roads are going to start to shut down. So it's going to be pretty hard to get into the area after that. So make sure you plan accordingly. Okay. Is there a gear check? Yes, there is going to be a gear check this year, something that is new that they have announced. So that is a really cool feature this year. And that is pretty much it. Yeah, you can take your tags home, your race number, and you can dispose of it afterwards. This is your race course this year. This is your starting area, and we will talk about the corrals in just a second here. You are then going to head down the main road, taking a left-hand turn over here, and then you're going to follow that road all the way down the bridge, and then this is probably going to be one of the tougher areas mentally out on course right through there, and then you're going to make that left-hand turn to finish right at the 10K finish line right in there. So let's talk about the start line. The start line over here is, or the start corral rather I should say, is set up just like that. I'm unsure if there's going to be two corrals on either side and you both just make your way in, but this is an elite race, so there are going to be elites here. Those times are scheduled right up here. They also probably are going to get that pink bib ahead of time there. Also, I know you can change corrals. I don't know how to specifically do it, but I know it is possible. So if you do find that you're in the green wave, but you think you're going to run about a 45, there is a way that you can push up there. Make sure you get in contact with the race officials sooner rather than later. The blue ones in the back, that's going to be our walking group. Purple, that's going to be a 1 hour to 1:15. The green bibs is a 49 to an hour. Yellow is going to be that 38 to 49 for men and a 44:49 to women. The pink ones are going to be 0 to 38 for guys and 0 to 44 for girls. And that is all they give you. And then the finish line, this is going to be our finish line right through here. There's going to be medical right to the right of that. There's also going to be medical inside over here, right around the stage on this little area right through here. There's going to be, they've labeled this with lots of foot traffic right through here, so right after you're just going to keep walking on Pacific Boulevard, and then you're going to go that way. Highly encourage you to read some of these other things in here on the race website. They're also going to be reaching out with more specific info as it comes. That is the extent of all the pre-race info that I have or was able to find on their website. And they did mention that they are going to be reaching out in the next couple of weeks to give you more additional information there. So let's dig into the route. This is a self-created route from me. And I will share this in the link for the video here, but there's going to be a lot of cool things here. Let's move me out of the way. So this is going to be our race profile. You'll notice a ton of different things. First thing, there's 340 feet of elevation gain and a 430 feet of elevation loss on this race course. So there is a net downhill, but it's going to come at you fast on this one. You're going to start out on that main boulevard right up here. You're going to start out actually going up. There's going to be a couple undulations, and you are going to be going up right at mile, or let's call it 0.3 miles out there. You are going to drop, okay? You're going to be coming out from 157 feet of elevation. You're going to drop all the way down to 37 feet right through there. So that's going to be a fast start. Adrenaline's going to be high anyways. There's going to be people all over the place. So you're going to be battling for this first little uphill section anyways. And then couple that with this huge downhill right through here, and then a quick kick up again right before you make your left-hand turn right there. This is a very dangerous course for this first half a mile. Adrenaline's high. You're going to be running faster than you probably want to. You're going to be dodging in and out of people, establishing your position on the road. The terrain is not going to do you any favors, so you're going to feel like you can go superhuman fast. You're like, oh my gosh, my training's felt really great, and it's going to kind of sucker you in, okay? As you keep progressing, there's going to be another uphill, and if you look at the elevation again, right here, we have 45 feet of elevation, and we're going up to 73. 2 to 2.5, that's going to be our gradient right through here as we keep climbing up through the west end over there. And then we're going to decline again, and then a slowly uphill, and if you keep going, you notice, boom, there's a quick pattern here. Drop, up, drop, and you climb up, and then you fall like a rock on most places on this course. So how do we attack this? This first little section over here, you need to ease back. You know, it's okay to establish your pace, establish your position, and if it doesn't happen until you get to this downhill section, that's okay. All right, when you are on this downhill section, if you're not where you need to be, you need to get there, but do so in a controlled manner. All right, let gravity do the work here. Let your training pay off right through here, and really focus on your technique right through this point right here. I guarantee you're going to see a lot of floppy runners out there, so don't be one of those. Hold things together here so you can use this as a springboard to get up off of this little incline right through here. After you get through the first, let's call it almost mile, right? Probably K right there. After you get through that first K, then things are going to settle down a lot more. You're going to be out in more open space. You're going to be able to kind of run your race a little bit more, and you're going to be greeted with a little undulating downhill. You're going to have about 2 to 2.5% that is negative throughout this section right here. So again, watch your running form. Don't let your feet actively go out in front of you, and use brakes, okay? Land underneath you and let gravity do the work. If you have to zigzag in and out of people still, you know, you got to do what you got to do, but do so in a controlled manner. You don't want to be darting all over the road here or just flying for no reason. Okay, it's okay to go fast, but make sure you have your technique set underneath you, because right at that mile, let's call it mile and 4, mile and 5 set area, you are going to be going up again, and the inclines here are going to be some of the steepest that you have seen up to this point. We got a 2.7 in there, a couple of 3%ers, and it's just going to keep digging and keep digging and keep digging. So if we zoom in on this section right through here before we get to that bridge, you could see here it is undulating up, undulating up, undulating up, and you can use these areas as little springboards. What will typically happen for most athletes is these sections that scoop up, athletes are going to be totally attacking those and driving those, and the effort's going to be high. And they're going to try to use these little downhills as little recovery areas to kind of keep going for that next little punchy uphill. I will warn you, you know, you can only punch so much in a race. So be very careful with how you do that here. Instead, the strategy that I would employ, especially because it is where it is, you know, it's the first 2 miles of a 6-mile race. Instead, I would, you know, have your effort level be high, but come off of it a little bit here and use these little scoops to attack a little bit, you know. Instead of it being a kind of recovery area, instead use that as a source of, you know, getting your fitness back, getting your speed back to where it needs to be, and then shooting up off of that next one, you know. And your effort level and your speed probably won't be as high as other athletes, but that's okay, because after you get off this little section right here, we have another great downhill right off of this bridge right here. Again, negative 6% right through here. So with that, your running form becomes really critical yet again, okay? Don't forget it. Don't just flop down this little section of road here. Be aware of what you're doing, okay? You use all the strategies that we just talked about, like feet landing underneath you, watching your hands. Don't let your hands go totally down to your waist. Be in that fighter's position as you're coming down on the downhill bridge right through here. As you cross that bridge and you start to get back on regular land, then you're going to have a steady uphill right through here. We have probably, this is going to be one of the big keys out on course, so we're going to highlight that and zoom in for you so we can all see. So this is the blue highlighted section of our course right through here. We have 2.6%, and then after that it is 1.5% most times. So it's not going to be, you know, super aggressive. This is a 1.5 mile section out here, but this is, believe it or not, a make or break section. When most athletes are going to be getting through this is now the time to push the pace a little bit if you have anything left, okay? At, what is that, 3.5 miles right here. Again, we do the exact opposite of what we just did, so let's zoom in on this last big section here so we can kind of see. So this zoomed in section, mile 3.6 all the way up till the rest of the race, 6.3. This is kind of, let's call it the back half of the race. I already mentioned it before. This section right through here is going to be the toughest, not from a terrain standpoint that is undulating down, but from a mental standpoint. Again, because this race has so much downhill, you're going to have to watch your form pretty much the whole time through. Okay. So in this section right through here, this is going to be the go time. This is going to be when you should be attacking. And that lasts pretty much all the way until you get to that road right through here, that main road, almost at mile 5.5, let's call it, right through here. So this little straight shot right by the creek and this little zigzag portion is going to be very, very critical to your race day success. If you totally unload in this first mile right through here, then you're going to pay for it later, because you do have a pretty substantial uphill with gradients reaching that 2.5%, 3% right throughout there. So when you are at this last point right through here, reaching up almost to that main road, then this is going to be our second to last point of where we attack. And that is going to be a theme for the rest of the race. Attack the downhills. That's going to be one of the only times you hear me say it. And then attack that last little uphill leading up to that finish line right through there. So that is the Vancouver Sun Run pretty much in a nutshell. Okay. Start out with some effort, but not as much as everybody else. Be controlled in what you're doing. Watch your technique when you're going downhill to that first left-hander. Don't totally bomb this downhill. It should be fast, but you should be in control the entire time through here. You're going to climb up to the bridge, and that's okay. Maintain your effort levels. When you cross the bridge, watch your running form. Watch it, watch it, watch it. After that, it's pretty much go time after that. So you should be reeling runners in pretty much right after you cross that bridge on, okay? Run the first 2.5 miles smart on this race, and you will have much more race day success for the back half. If you have any questions, please reach out. I will attach my contact info down below. Good luck to all the racers that are not my athletes, and if you are an athlete, I will be reaching out to you.